Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most magical things in all of baking, puff pastry. We're going to break down exactly how this one dough can create so many incredible, flaky, golden treats. I mean, just imagine making this a picture-perfect Napoleon. You see those delicate layers? They just shatter when you touch them, and all that creamy filling and fresh berries. It looks so fancy, right? Or what about this? A gorgeous pithavir. It's this golden, beautiful cake, and when you slice into it, oh my gosh, the smell of that rich almond cream is absolutely intoxicating. And then you've got these classics. Palmiers, some people call them elephant ears. They're perfectly crunchy, so deeply caramelized, they're just one of the most satisfying cookies on the planet. And hey, it's not all sweets. For something savory, you can make these cheese straws that are basically light as air. They're so flaky, they're the perfect little appetizer. So here's the crazy part. All of these completely different pastries, they all come from the exact same dough. So what is their secret? How does that work? Well, believe it or not, it all comes down to a single number. And here it is, 729. That's the magic number. I know, it seems totally random, but trust me, this number is the key to absolutely everything. So what is 729? It's the total number of super thin, alternating layers of butter and dough that you create in a classic puff pastry. The whole process is called lamination. And when you put it in the oven, the water in the butter creates steam, and that steam literally forces all 729 of those layers apart, creating that incredible, airy, flaky texture we love. Okay, so how do we get there? It all begins with two very, very simple components that we're going to bring together to create something amazing. So, on one side, you have the détrempe, which is just a fancy French word for a simple dough. This is the structure, the backbone of the pastry. And on the other side, you've got the bourrage, which is basically just a big, beautiful block of butter. The dough provides the framework, but the butter is where all the magic happens. All right, let's put them together. Now for the really fun part. This is where we start that patient, careful process of building hundreds and hundreds of layers. The whole thing starts by wrapping that cold butter block inside the cold dough, kind of like you're putting a letter in an envelope. You seal it up really tight so none of that butter can escape. Then you roll it out and do a simple letter fold. And just like that, you've created your first 3 layers: dough, butter, and dough. Okay, now here is where things get really wild. That first turn gave us 3 layers. Then you chill it, you rotate it, and you do it again. That second turn triples everything to 9 layers. The third turn, 27. You see the pattern here, right? It's multiplying every single time. By the time you've done this just 6 times, you've created a mind-boggling 729 distinct layers. Now, to make this actually work, there are a few rules you just can't break. And the most important one is to keep everything cold. The butter and the dough have to stay at the same cool temperature. If that butter melts into the dough, you lose your layers and it's game over. That's why you have to chill it between every single turn. Then you bake it in a super hot oven to get that explosive puff. All right, now for the reward for all that hard work. Let's see how this one foundational dough completely transforms. Once you have that 729-layer block, the possibilities are just endless. For those savory cheese straws, it's actually pretty straightforward. You just roll all your toppings, the cheese, the spices, right into the cold dough. Then you cut it, give it a little twist, and bake it. It's that easy. Now for palmiers, the big secret is rolling the dough in granulated sugar instead of flour. You fold it up, chill it, slice it, and then bake it in a really hot oven. That sugar melts and caramelizes and creates this incredible, glassy, crunchy coating. So good. For Napoleons, it's kind of funny. You actually want to control the puff. You don't want it to get too huge. So the key is docking the pastry, which really just means poking it all over with a fork. This lets some of the steam escape, so it bakes into a perfectly flat, even, super crispy sheet that's just ideal for layering. And this chart just lays it all out so perfectly. You start with the exact same dough, but look at the difference. Whether you're rolling in cheese, caramelizing with sugar, or poking it with a fork to control the rise, that final technique completely changes the outcome. It's just wild how versatile one dough can be. And that's really the main takeaway here. If you can master this one fundamental technique, lamination, you unlock this whole world of creativity. It just proves that simple ingredients, when you combine them with a really precise method, can create something truly extraordinary. So the only question left is, what are you going to create first?